at the good crowd we have here. That's great. Good morning, and welcome to the program portion of today's meeting. I'm Ron Lennox. I'm the Club Services Chairperson, and welcome to another wonderful meeting. I want to give you a heads up on what's coming up in the month of August. We are full for the month of August with some good programs. Next week is our club assembly, and we will be discussing the Rotary initiative for this year, which is diversity. So we'll be talking about how Rotary's commitment to diversity. On August the 9th, we have Karen Kelly, who is an author, and she's going to talk about her book, Doorways to Transformation. On the 16th, did you know that we have a new mobility and safety plan for San Miguel? Well, you're going to learn about it if you come on the 16th. We have Adolfo Cervantes coming to talk to us. On the 23rd, we are lucky to have 5 new members being inducted into the Rotary. 5 at one time. So we're going to dedicate 6. Okay, sorry. Do I hear 7? So we're going to have a formal induction of 6 people on the 23rd. Then on the last week, we have Ben Zion, who has a permaculture site outside of San Miguel. He has turned the desert into an oasis. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And he will be here with photos, and he's going to offer a tour out to his facility if you want to do that. And that's at the end of August, on the 30th. Just a reminder that we record all of our programs, and they're available afterwards on our YouTube channel. You can find a link to our YouTube channel on our Rotary website, which is Rotary SMA Midday with 2Ds.org. Okay, or if you want to go to YouTube and just put in Rotary Midday, and trust me, you'll find us. We have right now about 55 weeks worth of old programs. So go up and see what you missed. Yesterday I uploaded the talk from April Gatos that talked about the crisis in the press, which was an excellent presentation. So if you haven't seen that, please go up and see it. Now we're going to mute our online audience so they don't interrupt today's speaker. And if anyone online has a question, please type it into the chat window and we'll get to you at the end of the meeting. None of us wants to think about dying, right? Whether it's yourself, your friends, or your family, that's something we want to put out of our mind. The research shows that most expats haven't given thought to what happens or end-of-life choices, especially when you live in a foreign country. Many avoid the subject altogether and don't make an effort to start the end-of-life planning until it's too late. When that happens, the burden shifts. It shifts away to people left behind that you leave behind, which isn't quite fair to them. We owe it to the people that we're leaving behind to put our affairs in order before we leave. Today, we've invited Bethabeth Hernandez from Nmtech Legal Services to tell us about their answer to this, and is called Afterlife Services. So Bethabeth, come and tell us about your program.
Thank you for your time and for being here. I'm Bethabeth Hernandez. I'm part of the legal team of Nmtech. Have you ever heard about Nmtech? I'm pretty sure that yes. Okay. I want to share with you a very important topic for our lives. And to start with this case, I will start with a question. Can we show the presentation? Okay, perfect. What will happen to your essence in the future, and who will take care of your last wishes? Usually, at some point in life, people start to worry about what will happen to them in their last days, and after they pass away. What will happen if I can no longer decide for myself? When I grow older and I'm in the hospital, if I die, what will happen with my possession? Who will call to get in touch with my loved ones? That's why, to help you, Nmtech has developed a service that it's not only for Mexican people, but also for the guest community, in order to legally plan those important moments according to your wishes and Mexican law, obviously. So that's why we're creating a complete program for you. What is the Afterlife Program? The Afterlife is an insurance national program that provides peace of mind, certainty, and dignity to the clients in all matters dealing with health and posthumously efficient transfer. With Afterlife services, you can protect your family and your assets. I would like to explain you how Afterlife born. Afterlife was born for the need from the guest community. I would like to share with you some special story that happened to us. A family came to Nmtech to hire us to start a probate because months ago her dad was passed away. So they told us that his dad had a property. So we started to do our due diligence, and guess what? We find out that the property was in the hospital name, no longer in his dad's name. So we start searching what happened, and the thing was that when he get to the hospital, he start paying. He was conscious, but then he get worse. He passed away. The hospital account goes too high. Since no one was there to pay that, the hospital start a trial, and they win. So they take their property to pay the bills for the hospital. And when the kids came to San Miguel, there's no property for them. So this is just one of the some cases that happened to us. So that's why when the angels start saying, we need to help them, we need to do something, we want to be your closest Mexican relative, San Miguel. Okay, I'm going to explain more about this. Afterlife program was created to make sure that your medical care heritage and funeral requests are taken care of. To simplify the legal process on which you have to manage the death. It's beneficial to you, but also to protect your family, because you don't know how many headaches you can avoid to your to your family when they need to start the probate or do all that to try to get your death certificates and go at the embassy to get the official one to United States. And to make your stay in a country safer is direct to protect your healthcare, your last will, your family, and your properties. But the main point is, which includes exactly Afterlife. The life includes three main things. One is your medical advance directive. The advance directive, it's a document in which a person makes the decision to be subject or not to treatments, medical procedures, palliative care, which have the purpose of prolonging their life when said person has been diagnosed with a illness and for medical reasons. It is impossible to stop its process naturally. The person leaves this directive to a representative who is in charge of their last wishes, not to prolong their life artificially with the purpose of respecting the natural process of death, and the person wishes to die in a natural way. Have you ever heard about the advance directive here in Mexico? Okay, do you have some question in the advance directive? Okay. The second document that you will receive is the durable power of attorney. A power of attorney is a public deed that it's granted before a notary. It reflects the will of a person in his decision to authorize and delegate to another the power to act on his behalf. This act allows to other person to represent the principal in different legal process or procedures, still 6 months after his death, only in administrative procedures. This is a very good document, because if I'm pretty sure that it doesn't apply for everyone. But when you pass away, if you don't have any relative here, you need a power of attorney to a person, to grant the power of attorney to a person to be able to do all the procedures for you. For example, to sign, if you have an insurance, for example, to get your death certificates, to do all the administrative procedures that you're no longer be able to do. If you don't have a family, relative member, you need to grant the power of attorney to a different person to be able to do that for you. Okay. And the third document, it's a Mexican will. The will is an act through which a person freely expresses his will to dispose of his assets. Within this state, we can find of his property such as a house, land, jewelry, cars, work of art, and rights that are not extinguished by the death. In this same will, you can assign the same assets to one or more persons, which they may dispose to after the death of the person, which will be known as a heir. A very important figure within the will is the executor, who will be in charge of taking care of the last will and compliance with what is written in the will. For example, I don't know if you know, but here in Mexico, everybody, not just the guest community, if you don't have a will, and if you don't have any closer relatives, your assets goes to the university, to the University of Guanajuato. So University of Guanajuato is so rich for all the people who live a Mexican will. So this is very important to have a Mexican will here in Mexico, even if you have a properties here. Okay, the fourth thing that includes the afterlife is the active communication. Afterlife will maintain each month an active communication by telephone and email with the client to monitor her state of mind and health. Afterlife will contact the treating of emergency psyche designed by the client. 2, if medical transportation is needed, it will be by ambulance and will be channeled to the medical center indicated. I will to point out that it's not only in San Miguel de Allende. It's in all Mexico. If you're on vacation, maybe you were in Cancun or something and something happened, we can reach you and send you, if you need an ambulance or any kind of help that you will need, we can provide you. The other thing is the funeral and consular process. Contract, if in this case, the how do you say, the funeral services is not part of the Afterlife program, but when you contract Afterlife, you allow us to when it's necessary to contract that funeral services for you. Carry out the process regarding the decease of the client before the civil registry of the place of death and before any other institution and relevant dependency. Carry out the proceeds needs before the consulate of the country of origin of the client in order to obtain the death certificates. The Afterlife team will contact the relatives, heirs, or legacies regarding the death of the client immediately after her or his decease. Afterlife team fulfills the client's last wishes as well as their desire to transport the remains or ashes to where they have indicated. Okay, this is all the things that Afterlife includes. Okay. Do you have any question regarding this topic that you want to share with us? If you need more information, you can contact us. Since this is an insurance, it can fit you. We can create one for each necessities for each one. Okay. So here are our contact. Some of our team give you some paper with all our information. So if you need some help, we will happy to help you. Okay. Have a great day. Thank you. You have a question?
If you already have some of those documents.
Yeah.
Can you just a part of the program?
Yes.
Not the whole program?
Yeah, that's why I told you that it fits you for each one. If maybe you can say, I don't have any property here in San Miguel, but I'm pretty interested in the program. So we skip the Mexican will and we just charge for the documents that you will need. Yeah. Anything else?
Questions on the chat?
Yes, there's one question in the chat. Basically, we want to know if you have an advanced directive, is it also able to work outside of the state of Guanajuato?
Yeah, it's for in all the Mexican Republic. The advanced directive goes to a platform to all the hospitals. So it will be work in Old Mexico.
Wonderful. And is there do not resuscitate attached to the advanced directive, or is there a template to do that?
Yeah, it's part of the advance directive. We can attach to that document.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yes.
Everyone out there on the chat, if you have any other questions, please post them here so that we can go ahead and get Betsavet to answer for us. Okay, I think that's all the
Thank you for
questions.
I'll hold that up for you. Okay, like Gary said, we have a People of Action poster that we have up front here at every one of our meetings. There are some projects that we showcase. We're very proud of them. Some have been long time running. Some of them are so new they haven't made it to the board yet. The one that Lee was just talking about, our Wise Girls project, hasn't made it to the board. Today they're going to be set up at the Guanajuato Film Festival. We're going to have a booth there to be able to pick up information. But like Lee just spoke about, the target is empowering girls and women. All of our projects are designed to empower the family. It's probably one of the most important things that we focus our projects around. One of our longest running is our cistern projects. We're well close to 1,500 cisterns that we've put in the compost around. There's over 200 communities that are around San Miguel. Some of them are made up of just 4 houses and some of them have 40 houses, but they're small. A lot of them don't have running water. A lot of them don't have electric. And I know it comes as a shock to us because we all have both of those, but you should be thankful that you do because not everyone does. So these are some of the challenges that we try to answer. Now, we don't go to them and push our belief or our programs onto them. They come to us. And we work with SEDESA, which is a group that's in Dolores. They've been there for almost 60 years, I believe now. And they're that bridge from all us goofy looking white people to the indigenous and some of the people that have been here their whole lives, because they're not going to really listen to us every time. Although we have built some great relationships. Lee, in particular, they've written a song about him. That's how much they love him. And it's available, I think, on Spotify. But anyway, so we have the water cisterns, which we harvest rainwater off of their homes into these catchments, 12,000 liter rainwater catchment system. And that's enough to supply a house of 4 to 6 people for the entire year if they get the water that we need during the rainy season. And we teach them we work with them so that they understand not only the importance of having clean water, because there's so many diseases that are born because of the water that they get out of the groundwater. We also help them to understand how to use it more efficiently, less waste, how they can do their gardens and how they can start businesses by using fresh, clean water all the time. Also, one of the projects that came out of that is our dry composting toilet, which is because there's not a lot of water and because there isn't a lot of electric in some of these places, the dry composting toilet allows them to have privacy, cleanliness, fertilizer. So there's dignity. One of the things that we're talking about empowering women and protecting women and girls. The dry composting toilet is great because they don't have to go out into a field. And we take it for granted that we have our indoor plumbing at our homes and everything. But if you're a young lady or a woman and you think twice about what time you can go out into the field. So they reduce how much water they drink because they realize they can't go to use the bathroom during the day. They have to wait till the evening. Now they're out there in the evening and there's all kinds of predators. And now we're not just talking about ones that run around on 4 legs. There's others that run around on 2 legs. And so these have given them and empowered them and given them a dignity and protection that we didn't think was going to happen. And they come to us and ask us, can I get a dry composting toilet? And they work together as community. They will actually create a co-op in the community, and they will build them in their community. And you basically help someone build theirs first before you get one. So that's something else. So we're bringing these communities, even though they're small, you think they'd be closely knit. Some of them don't know each other that well. And these projects allowed us to do that, allow them to do that. We have the beekeeping that's also on here, which we have now 7 co-ops that are made up of 10 to 12, mostly women. That gives them an opportunity to not only supply them in their home to have honey, but also to make byproducts from the honey so that they can sell and make more money for their families. And that's growing as well. We have the mobile library that's listed on here. The mobile library was a 3-year project that we created and works with CASA. And the library goes into communities where they have schools, but they don't have a lot of books. And this would go to 4 different communities, 16 communities a week it would actually visit. And it's still ongoing. One of the things about our projects is that we don't just buy the van and set it all up and send it out. No, there has to be sustainability. That it has to hook up with a group that's going to continue to do what we intended it to do to begin with. But we can only be involved for a couple of years, and 3 years is the cutoff. So we get money, we put these things together, then we hook up with a viable organization, NGO that's here, and then it continues to sustainability continue to be out there. Go ahead, question.
We don't build them for, we apply the money, we supply, and they do the work.
Correct.
They get
Yeah.
the opportunity to learn how to do things and how to communicate.
Absolutely. Thank you, Melody. What Melody just said, for those that are online and Zoom that didn't hear it, we don't just bring a bunch of money to the thing, and we don't just bring a bunch of supplies and just drop it off. And there's a program in place, there's training in place, but they build it. They own it. They know how to maintain it. And that's why there's sustainability. A lot of times, some government organizations will bring in like Tinacos and just say, here you go, here's a Tinaco to put on. Well, if you don't train them on how to use it and understand the importance of having it, and also follow up 3, 6, 12 months down the road, we go back into these communities to see how they're doing and how things are being used, and if they're run down. We've had several club meetings where we'll actually go to the compost and repaint cisterns and work on making sure everything is up and running. And it's a great event for all of us to be involved in. When they come up, we'll let you know, and you can definitely want to attend. The Tripoli School is also on here. It's it is the only, perhaps one of the only deaf schools in all of Mexico. We have worked with them on several grants to get equipment and training for their teachers and for the students. This is a group of the society that has been pretty much cast away because they don't have the skills to get jobs or to finish school. And a lot of times they're in homes where they've come up with their own languages. And this way they can actually learn a language, learn a trade, and become active people in the community and start their own families. And it's amazing what that, if you've never visited the school, it's on Umaran. And I highly recommend you go and visit it. It's amazing. The kids are fantastic. The teachers are all fantastic. We're fortunate to have been partners with them to create that school and get it to where it is, and continue to work with more project or more grant possibilities. What's not on here? These guys don't know. When they give me a microphone, they think they're going to just shut it off and I'm going to sit back down. Love to talk. The microfinancing project is one of our new projects that's not on here. This is a training that goes on with, Apoyo. Ezekiel at Apoyo. It's a training. They sign up, they go through the training, and then they apply for money. Now, just because they go through the class and finish the class doesn't necessarily mean that they put the application, they're going to get money. They have to have an actual plan And it's usually somewhere between $350 to $700. And that gives them an opportunity to create a business or to grow the business that they're working on. And we fund some of that. We've had so far 2 programs, and we've had 15 recipients that have gotten between $350 and $700. Now, all of these things I talk about, they take money. And you guys got it. And you want to put it to use, or maybe you have time and you want to put it to use. These are all projects where if you can give time, great. If you can give money, great. That's how we fund these things. So you get a hold of one of us and we'll show you how we can help you spend your time and your money. Last project that I want to talk about? No, we talked about Wise Girls. That's it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So if you'd like to be part of the finance of all this, you can donate on our website, Rotary San Miguel Midday.org. And there's a donate button. That's what we do on Mondays and Tuesdays. Can someone? No, that's what we do all week. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for your presentation. It was very helpful and very informative. I'm very excited about our program next week, talking about the new Rotary Club, how our club is changing, how we're becoming more diverse, more inclusive, more equitable. This is all very important to us. It's very important to Rotary International. But next week, we're going to have a chance to talk about it, and we're going to hear from you, and we're going to have some interesting interchange, I hope. So thank you again. Have a good day. Go to Give.